Good morning, everyone, on this Friday morning. The sun is out, it's beautiful. You see a little bit of remains of the sun in my bedroom here. For today's practice, if you have a chair, like the one in the back, ideally that doesn't have armrests, then grab that chair, have it nearby. If you don't have a chair available, then don't worry, we can work with a wall space or just modify any other way. I always like to have blankets there, towels. I have yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, some stacks of books or heavier books will do very well. So on this Friday morning, I thought about a little bit how we're right now in this time of physical distancing. One thing that we're not getting as much is really physical touch, right? We're not hugging our friends so much anymore, or handshakes. I live with my husband, my 2 children, and my 2 cats. I get plenty of hugs, whether I want it or not. But there are plenty of people out there who don't get this physical touch. And I thought I'd share with you my daily morning ritual that comes from the sister science of yoga, Ayurveda, which is dry brushing. And what I do is before I go in the shower, so this is a dry brush. Mine comes with a handle that you can take on and off. And I start at the bottom of my feet, my legs, and you go in circular motions, brushing towards the heart, brushing up the legs, front and back, and then the center body, the side body, the ribs. You take the handle, you try to reach the back, the arms, all the way up to here. And what this does, it sheds dead skin cells, but it also gets the blood flowing and circulating, and it gets all these neurons activated that react to the touch of the brush. These bristles are pretty coarse, and your skin will have to get used to this a little bit. And these mitts are available. They are a little softer, so that might be a great opportunity to maybe working your way towards using the dry brush, using this to begin with instead. And once I'm done dry brushing, I take an oil, and it can be really, you can look this up a little bit, what kind of oils. I change it with the seasons. Right now I'm using an apricot oil, and I massage this oil into my skin and my body. And then I go into the shower. And so the oil protects my skin from the water a little bit, so the skin doesn't dry out so much. And then sometimes after the shower, I apply a little bit of more oil. And if I really have a lot of time, I'm actually massaging that oil in. That doesn't happen every morning, but sometimes on the weekend, I take a bit more time and give myself a nice massage that way. And I checked last night actually on Amazon, dry brushes and these kind of massage mitts are not sold out currently, so they are available. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to move back to my mat space, moving the chair a little bit out of the way. I have set up a block, or you could use a book and a blanket on top, so I can sit a little bit elevated. Moving my candle a little bit to the side where you can see it. So the hips always elevated above the knees. That makes the sitting so much easier, and also you immediately get a little bit taller here. And if this kind of seat isn't available to your body, you can bring the feet together, have this diamond shape. You can bring the legs out almost all the way. You also can sit up with the legs straightened out. My knees are bothering me on some days, so I sit with legs straight out. So choose a shape of how you want to sit. Adjust yourself a little bit. Make sure you're sitting comfortable here. And then the palms, take a moment to check in. Do you want them facing down or facing up? Do you need more grounding to face them down, or do you need more receiving? Then here you can close the eyes, or you can have a half gaze. Just trying to tune the senses inwards and not letting too many distractions from the outer world come in. And then travel to that point where in your body do you feel your inhalation and your exhalation the most. For some people that is in the belly area, that you feel the rise and fall of the belly. And for some people it's really right at the nostril, on the back of the nose, the beginning of the throat, where you feel the air coming in and out. So travel to this point. And as the inhale comes in, just think in. And as the breath leaves the body, think out. In and out. In and out. In, out. Next time you're exhaling, try to make this exhalation a little bit longer. And as you're exhaling, really ground yourself down where you're sitting. Make this commitment to being grounded. Extending the exhalation, grounding down. And with that grounding from here, the inhalation lets us rise up a little bit taller, but we're not letting go of the grounding, the firm ground underneath. And here you can flutter the eyes gently open. And if you have a block or a book nearby, I grabbed the book for my kids here. Just an offering, that's something you can play around with throughout the week. So we take this, you want something that's a little more substantial and heavy, and place it on top of your head. Takes a moment to balance around here a little bit. And then once it's there, you go back to grounding down. And as you inhale, you rise a little bit taller towards this book or the block on your head. So you're sitting here between grounding to the earth and lifting and rising up. But the lift comes out of that grounding. And this is a practice you can really take and extend a little bit. My teacher shared this practice with me, and as part of my training at some point we had to sit for a month, 20 minutes every day, having a book or a block on our head, and you feel the weight of the book after a while, and it reminds you to just reach a little bit taller but not letting go of your grounding. It's a nice way, I find it a nice way to, when my thoughts get frazzled and my mind gets spinning, I just return a little bit more to some more stillness here. Inhale. And as you exhale, remove what you have on your head and place it to the side. And you check in with your legs. You need to switch the cross of the legs. You need to switch the shape you're sitting in. We're going to take our hands and our fingertips. We place them on the center of the forehead, between the eyebrows here. And then here, push in a little bit. Just get used to a little bit of pressure from your hands. As you inhale, with pressure, slide the fingertips across the forehead, all the way out to the temples. And then on the exhale, give yourself a bit of a massage here. And then the fingers return to the center of the forehead, pushing in, inhaling, sliding across, exhaling, massaging. And again, inhaling, pushing in, sliding across, exhale, And then find your cheekbones with your fingertips. Just tap a little bit here and feeling a little bit that hollow space, the cavity underneath. And then we rest the fingertips on the cheekbones. Again, find that pressure that feels good to you, not too much and just enough, just right. As we inhale, we begin with that pressure to slide the fingers down along the cheeks. The jaw softens, your mouth opens, and all the way down to the jawbones, massaging the jawbones a little bit here. And then the fingers come back to the cheekbones, inhaling and sliding down, massaging the jawbones on the exhale. One more time. Pushing in, inhaling, sliding down, massaging. And here we take our hand and we just stroke the front of our throat a little bit here, stroking down. Then you can use one hand on the front of the throat and the other one goes to the neck, and you massage your neck down here with your hands. You can decide the pressure you want to use here. And then we travel to the collarbone. Just tap along the collarbone all the way out to the shoulders and back in. And then rest the fingertips on the collarbones. With an inhalation and with pressure, we draw the fingertips down and out. And then once more, back to the collarbones. Inhaling, drawing the hands down and out. One more time. Down. And then we tap that bony part of our chest, the sternum. And here you can start, nobody's listening, you're in your home, we can start sounding a little bit. Going through the 3 syllables of the that primordial sound. Feeling the vibrations in your body. And then take the tapping on the top of your head. Tap down the back, around to the front once more, the forehead, the cheeks, down the throat. Then your right hand taps on your left shoulder, traveling down the arm, traveling up the inside of the arm across. Left hand taps down the right arm and back up the right arm. Both hands tap the shoulders and we travel down, tapping the rib cage, sitting up nice and tall here, tapping the bones, tapping the hip bones. And then if your legs are not extended yet, just bring them out to the front a little bit. And then here we actually use our palms, tapping the leg up and down, other leg up and down. Bring the feet in a little bit and just massage the soles of the feet here a little bit, going to these toes. Just touching in with all these body parts here. Right, and then from here, I'm going to remove the blanket and the block. I'm going to sit sideways so you can see me a little bit here. So we're going to have the feet flat on the earth here. And the hands come behind us, the palms spinning forward, the fingertips are on the mat. You just lift yourself up here a little bit. Inhale, send the gaze up. And exhale, just round in, bring your forehead to your knees. Once more, inhaling, gaze up. Exhaling, forehead to the knees. And then we bring the hands down on the mat. I have the wrists spinning forward and the fingertips facing back, but you could also try it the other way around. It's a little bit different for everyone. And then here, as we inhale, we just gently lift the hips off the floor, not too high. Exhale, we bring them down, and maybe we lift and bring the knees into the forehead. Feet come down. One more time, lifting the hips. Maybe you go a little bit higher or maybe not. Exhaling down and in. Inhaling, lift. Maybe stay here a little bit, play around, swaying the hips from side to side. And exhaling back down. And then here we turn the hands around so the fingers are facing in the direction of our feet. You cross your right leg over your left here. As we inhale, we lift onto our fingertips, lifting a little bit taller. And then as we exhale, we lean back here a little bit. And we can be on our forearms here. Just draw that knee into our chest here, flexing both feet, pointing both feet. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point, and then just bring some movement in here. Just swaying from side to side, maybe doing some circles, getting these hip joints lubricated and awake a little bit. And we place the left foot back on the earth. We gently lift ourselves back up. Take the right foot down, and then we switch sides. The left leg crosses over the right. We inhale, we come up onto the fingertips, lifting nice and tall. And exhale, coming back down onto the hands or the forearms, lifting the knee, drawing it in towards the chest, flexing both feet. And exhale, pointing. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. And then here once more, just some movement, swaying from side to side. Some circles. Maybe there's some crackling sounds going on of joints loosening up. And then placing the foot back down and placing the other foot back down and coming up. We're finding that diamond shape one more time. So the soles of the feet are together and the knees are out to the side. Your heels can draw in pretty close to your buttocks, or you slide them away, just depending on how much space we really have. And from here, our hands are on the shins. We inhale, we lift tall. And we exhale, we keep the length in the spine, and we just crawl forward with our fingertips and then begin to wave our body from side to side. Just creating some space here. The goal is not to make it all the way folding over, but the goal is simply to create some space here, doing some waves, feeling into the space we're creating between our ribs, between our vertebrae. And then walk your hands over all the way to the right and wave your way over here. Back through the center all the way over to the left. Waving around here. And then we come back up. We bring the knees together. The feet are on the mat. With an inhale, lift the toes. And then see if we can reach our big toes here with our pointer finger and our index finger. Maybe we need to slide the feet in a little bit closer. Once more, inhalation, a chance to lift up a little bit more. And exhalation, sinking a little bit deeper. And then here, you straighten your left leg out and you hold on to the big toe of the right foot with your index finger and middle finger of your left hand. Inhale. The right arm raises up, and on the exhale, you draw it down behind you. Look towards your hand, look over that right shoulder. And then here, maybe you lift that heel off the mat. Maybe you even straighten that leg out a little more or all the way. Just playing with it here, wherever you are. Inhaling, reaching. And on the exhale, We draw the arm up overhead. We bring the heel down and we bring the forehead to the knee. Once more, inhale, we open up. We twist a little bit over that right shoulder. And exhale, bring it in, forehead to knee. Inhale, open. Exhale, forehead to knee. And then here we switch sides. We lengthen that right leg out. We draw the left foot in. The heel is on the floor. The index and middle finger of that right hand come across the big toe. Inhale, the left arm reaches high and then comes down back behind you, looking towards that hand, lifting the left heel off the mat, maybe straightening that leg a little bit more or all the way. Inhale, reaching into that twist, and on the exhale, bringing the left arm up and around, bringing the knee in, forehead to the knee. Inhale, reach and twist. Exhale, up and around, hugging in. Inhale, reach and twist. And exhale, up and around, hugging it in. Bring that heel back to the mat. Bringing both heels in, and we slide the knees over to one side. We're going to come on hands and knees. I like to pad with a blanket or a towel underneath my knees. We're going to be here a little bit. So make sure you have some padding here. You can also double the fold up, whatever you need. I'm actually going to turn around so you can see me a little bit from the front here. I'm going to be on hands and knees here. And then here, just take a moment to settle in. Wrists on the shoulders, knees on the hips, maybe swaying from side to side a little. And starting from the tailbone, as we inhale, sending the tailbone back and up, arching the spine, sending the gaze up. Exhale, the tailbone tucks in. The spine rounds, belly draws in, chin to the chest. Inhale, we curl out and open. And exhale, we curl in. Inhale, curling out. Exhale, curling in. Find your neutral table. On the inhale, the right leg goes back. Toes are on the floor. And we just push the heel away. And maybe we have a wall behind us and we can actually press that heel into the wall here just to have a point of orientation of where are we pushing. On the next inhale, we lift that leg only to hip height, so we don't lift it higher than our hip. Toes are towards the floor. Inhale, we just bend the leg. Exhale, straighten, pushing through the heel. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. One more time. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen out. And here we cross that right leg behind our body, bringing it over to the left side. Toes are coming onto the mat. We just sink back a little bit, bending, dipping the elbows, and you just lean towards your hips here, looking over your left shoulder. Inhaling, breathing, exhaling. Inhale, we bring that leg back up, and then bring it around over to the right side. The toes are facing forward. Your right hand comes to the outside of that right leg, of the shin, maybe down to the ankle. Inhale, we lengthen out to the front. As we exhale, we draw towards that right extended leg a little bit, bringing that left shoulder towards that right leg. Inhale, opening out, and exhale, drawing it in. Inhaling out, and exhale, draw in. Holding here for a moment. Breathing in, releasing, breathing out. The right hand comes back to the floor. And you turn the right toes out to the side. Then we draw that heel in. So we create a little bit of this 90-degree angle here with this right leg. The left hand stays on the floor. The right hand comes to the inside of that knee here. Finding a bit of a fleshy part here to push in. Inhale, we turn to the front. We reach through the crown of the head. On the exhale, once more, turning over to the right side, bringing that left shoulder towards the right knee. Inhale, open to the front. And exhale, turning. And then holding here for a moment, looking over that right shoulder, breathing. The right hand comes down to the floor and we walk our fingertips back and lift up on our upper body. And then here, take your hands to your hips and just take a moment to play a little bit, sinking into that knee and back. Just getting used to it, maybe adjusting the foot and the leg a little bit. And we find stillness in the center. We bring the hands in prayer to the heart. And here, so we want to have this energetic hugging the bones all in towards the midline. So we're playing with that here a little bit. We inhale, we open out, we exhale, we draw everything in towards the midline. Just play with this a little bit, drawing in and releasing. And as you draw in, as you hug your bones towards the midline, you feel your core engaging, you feel lifting up a little bit. And we hold here. As we inhale, we lean into that right knee, we extend the arms out, soften through the hands. Exhale, we draw the hands in, we draw everything in towards the center. Inhaling, opening out. Exhale, draw in. Once more, inhale, open out. And then we stay here, gazing over the front, the right fingers, looking back, looking at the left fingers, and back to the right. And then if you have a block or a book nearby, I take my book and I place it down next to my left leg. The right arm reaches out. I flip the palm towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift that arm up, reach towards the ceiling. And then exhale, leaning back here into that modified version of Peaceful Warrior, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhaling, coming back. And once more exhaling, reaching up and back, Peaceful Warrior. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling, coming back. And here I take my book. Now place it to the inside of the right foot. I have my hand on here. Inhale, the left arm goes up, reaches as high as I can. And as I exhale, I draw that arm over my left ear to the right side of the room here. Inhale, open it back out, coming up. Exhale, reaching and leaning to the right. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Now bring that arm back around. Put the book to the side, hands come to the front, and then we bring that right knee back in. And here, just take a moment, sit back, sit over onto your buttocks, straighten the legs out, and then let's just massage the knees here a little bit, massaging the backs of the knees, massaging the knees on top so we can go back to the other side, giving the knees a little bit of a release here. Swinging the legs around, and we're setting back up for table. On your next inhale, the left leg goes back, toes are on the floor, and then push through that heel once more. The opportunity to push that heel into the wall behind you, if you have a wall behind you. On your next inhale, we lift the left leg. Inhaling, bending. Exhaling, straightening. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Keep your gaze down and reach forward to the front, through the crown of your head. And hold the leg straight, uplifted behind you, cross it behind, placing the toes down to the right. But dip the elbows a little bit and look over that right shoulder, sinking back a little bit into our hips here. Breathing in and out. On the inhale, we lift the leg and then bring it around all the way to the left, toes facing forward, foot on the ground. The left hand finds the shin on the left side or the ankles. Inhale, we turn our chest to the front. Exhale, we draw that right shoulder towards that left leg, looking up over the left shoulder. Inhale, open to the front. Exhale, folding in. Inhale. And one more time, exhale. Coming back to the front, the left hand comes down. The left toes face out, and we slide that heel in once more, creating that 90-degree angle. Right hand stays on the floor, left hand comes to the inside of that left knee. Inhale, we turn out to the front, and on the exhale, draw that right shoulder towards that left knee. Inhaling out, and exhaling. Inhale, turn out. Exhale, cross diagonal, holding here. And the left hand comes to the floor. We come onto the fingertips, walking the fingertips up, rising up all the way. Hands cross. Well, let's bring them to the hips first, and once more on this side. Just do a little bit of coming into the hip joints here, being familiar, maybe readjusting the foot. And as we inhale, we sink into that left knee, the arms come out, the hands soften. Exhale, we draw everything in towards the center. Inhale, opening, reaching. Exhale, pulling in. Open. And then hold here, look over the fingers of the left hand. Send your gaze over to the right hand. Back to the left. Drawing the hands back in. And finding our book or block. Placing it to the outside of the right leg. Inhale, the left arm reaches out, the palm flips up to the ceiling, reaching up and then reaching back with that arm. Keeping the arm straight, reaching and leaning. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, up. Exhale, peaceful warrior, holding here for a breath or two. Breathing into the opening of the left side body, the rib cage on this side. Inhale, draw yourself back up. And then we take the book and switch it and bring it to the inside of that left foot. Inhale, the right arm comes up. And we can stay here, or we can draw that right arm over the right ear, reaching towards the left. Inhale, we come back up. And exhale, around and over. Inhale, coming back up. And exhaling. Holding here. Inhale, coming back around. I move my book to the side. And bring that left knee back in. And then here, I take a moment. Look if you have a chair nearby. If you have the chair nearby, I draw my chair onto my mat, onto the front side of the mat a little bit, and I also take the blanket and place it over the chair here. And then I have my hands on the chair. And if you don't have a chair, you're simply maybe on books or on blocks. You're on the floor here. But if we're on the chair, we're kneeling. And then we bring one foot to the front, that's the same on the blocks. And then we bring the other foot standing up here. And walk your feet back a little bit here on your mat. And we're bringing the upper body down, coming into that modified version of downward facing dog here. Maybe walking the heels back a little bit more, just adjusting, seeing where you need to be. You can walk your dog here, pedaling the feet. And then on the inhale, begin to walk your feet towards the chair. And here, let's bring my chair to the center. I take my blanket, I walk around the chair and have a blanket or towel, just some padding over the backrest of the chair. And then I simply bring my hips into the back of the chair and I just begin to find my forward fold here with the help of the chair. And if you don't have that chair nearby, you can simply find your forward fold from here, hanging down, maybe holding on to opposite elbows. And then it also depends on how high is the backrest of the chair. I can actually reach the seat of the chair with my forehead here. But maybe if your backrest is a little bit higher, you may not reach that. We can also put books or blocks under our hands here on the chair just to help with that. Just being in that forward fold here for a moment. We can inhale and come up onto the toes. Exhale. And then here, if you're with or without chair, inhale, come up halfway. Fingertips are on the chair or on your shins, reaching the crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold in one more time. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, rise up all the way, reaching the arms up, drawing the hands and down to the heart. And here we take a moment, we just move the chair to the front of the mat. We come and step to the back of our mat. And our feet are parallel, toes facing forward. Place your hands on your hips. And then with your left foot, you turn your left foot out to about 10 o'clock. Bring it back in. And turn the left foot out to 10 o'clock. And back in. I just show you from the front what I'm doing. So I'm turning that foot out and in and out and in. All right, so once more, the left foot is out to 10 o'clock. And then you leave it here. Soften your knees. And then step forward with the right. Lean in and step back. And step forward and step back. Once more, stepping forward and then staying here. Adjusting maybe some more width between the feet. And finding this Virabhadrasana one, that warrior one. The back foot is on the floor. And then from here, we lean into that front knee. We reach the arms forward. Inhale. Exhale, draw your fists into your waist, straighten that front leg. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw everything back, straighten the front leg. Inhale, reach. With the reach, reaching the arms up overhead and then interlacing the hands behind your head, leaning your head into your hands here, opening the chest, breathing in and out. Reaching the arms up overhead, straightening the front leg, bringing the hands to the hips, dipping into the knees and bringing the right foot back. And both feet face forward. And then the right foot turns out to 2 o'clock. And back in, and out, and in, and out. And we leave the right foot at 2 o'clock. We step forward with the left, and back. Step forward, and back. Just to condition our body a little bit into that shape. Step forward, then maybe we need to heel toe that left foot out a little more to create more space. Hands on the hips, both feet are firmly on the ground. We inhale, we lean forward, we reach forward. Exhale, draw the hands into the hips and the front leg straightens. Inhale, lean and reach. Exhale, draw back. Inhale, lean and reach. Exhale, draw back. Inhale, lean and reach, and then hold here. Keep reaching forward and lift the arms up overhead, interlacing hands behind the back, the head, maybe non-habitual way here, leaning the head into the hands, grounding the feet down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down to the hips, straighten that front leg, soften again, and then step back here. We walk to the center of our mat here. I'm just turning around so you can see me better. Bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the right knee up a little bit. Doesn't need to come high. Maybe your toes are kickstanded. Turn the knee out and then rest that right heel against the left leg. Maybe you're lifting it up a little bit higher. Maybe you have the toes kickstanded here. And then you press the right foot into the left leg and the left leg into the right foot. That gives you that engagement in the center of the body and lifts you up. Breathing in and out. And bring the right toes back down. Turn the knee to the front. And here we cross the hands on our chest. And we're pulling down a little bit. So we're tucking the chin of the skin of our chest down a little bit. And then from here, you slide that right foot back. The toes are still on the ground. You lean forward with a long back. You can stay here leaning, or you can begin to lift the right leg up behind you. And maybe once more you have a wall behind you and you can just lift and press your heel into the wall here. Warrior 3. Inhaling, bringing the foot back in. Hands fold at the heart. And then we switch sides. We come onto the toes of the left leg, turning the left knee out, leaning the heel into the right leg, or maybe sliding it up a little bit. Pressing right leg into left foot and left foot into right leg. Lifting. And maybe you're more wobbly. There's some days when I'm really wobbly here, and that's okay, just let it happen. And then turning the knee to the front, toes on the ground, once more crossing the hands on your chest, tucking the skin down, sliding the left toes back, keeping the toes on the ground. Lean forward, create length here. And then from here, either stay here or begin to lift that leg behind you, leaning forward, maybe once more finding the wall as our best friend here, pushing the heel into the wall. Relaxing the jaw, see if your teeth are clenched. I tend to clench my teeth. And I'm bringing that foot back in. And then here, I'd like to show you a variation of Warrior 2 where we use our chair. And if you don't have a chair, then find your wall and use the wall, the bottom of the wall, just to give an anchor to your back foot as you step out into your warrior two. But if you have a chair, I just like to play with these options now that we're all at home and have chairs available. I place a blanket over my chair for some padding. So we sit down, and then here I turn my right leg out. So the right toes are facing out to the right. And then I bring that left leg, maybe it's somewhere in the front, straight. Maybe it's a little more back. You just have to play with what's available to you. Ideally, the foot is on the floor, so I'm not lifted on the heel or the toes are lifted, but the edge of the foot is on the floor. And then sit here, get a little bit adjusted. Inhale, reaching the arms out. Letting your gaze settle over these right fingers. Inhale here. Exhale, we draw everything in as we did before. Hugging the bones into the center of the body. Inhale out and soften. Exhale, drawing everything in. Inhaling out. And then here we flip that right palm. The left hand comes to the left leg. Inhale, reach the right arm up and keep reaching. And then from that reach, maybe lean back a little bit. I don't have that much range of motion here to leaning back. It's more a lift, because through that lift, I open up the rib cage on this side. So I don't necessarily need to lean back. I can just breathe into the lifting and opening here. And then exhaling, bringing both arms out. And then we bring that right forearm onto the right thigh, but we're not leaning in here. So it's just a touch rather than a lean. Inhale, the left arm comes up. Now on the exhale, we draw it overhead here. And then as you're here, notice your feet. Can you bring some more awareness, some more grounding into your feet? Noticing how your straight leg, your left leg is engaging a bit more. Inhale, draw both arms out now. Exhale, the hands come to the chair. We just slide these feet and come to a seat for a moment, closing the knees together, closing the feet. And let's just do some circles. You can do this standing. If you're not on the chair, you can simply do some circles, or you can do some hip circles here, standing. We come back on our seat. If you're against the wall, just switch legs, and the left leg comes out to the left, toes facing out. And then from here, we adjust and find a position for our right leg. And that depends. My chair has a pretty wide base. If your chair doesn't have such a wide base like mine, it may actually be a little easier to achieve. I'm almost bringing the entire thigh onto the seat here to have a little bit more access. Inhale, reach the arms out. Gazing softly over the left hand. On your next exhale, draw the hands into the heart, hug the bones in. Inhale, expand and soften. Exhale, engage and hug in. Inhale, expand and soften, and then hold here. Flip that left palm up. Right hand comes down to the right leg. Inhale, reach that left arm high. Reach, reach, reach. Maybe a gentle lean back, and maybe just the reach. Keep pushing the feet into the ground. Breathing into the left rib cage here. Inhaling, bring the arms out. And then the left forearm comes onto the left leg. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Keep reaching, and then draw that arm overhead, leaning towards this side here a little bit. Maybe your gaze goes down. Once more, finding our feet, engaging our feet, rooting into the ground, rooting into the earth. And out of that grounding comes our reaching and our lifting. And inhale, we come back up. Bring the hands to the seat, and then we just close our knees here one more time. Finding hip circles, sitting or standing, one direction. And switching sides here, going the other way. And then we mindfully stand up. And move the chair out of the way, just off to the side here. Keep your blanket nearby. We may want to use this for Shavasana here. And then we stand at the top of the mat here. Take the feet just a little bit wider. And the arms are hanging loose to the side. We're just wringing out our body here a little bit, very gently swinging from side to side. Your gaze can gently follow your arms here as they swing around. And we let that rotation, that swinging become smaller until we find the center. The feet close. We inhale, we reach the arms up, reach really high. Exhale, the palms come to touch and we just draw the hands down the midline of the body, finding a forward fold here. Letting the head hang, shaking the head yes and no. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold, and then from here we bend the knees, maybe with the help of the chair or with blocks. We step one knee down, then the other knee. We swing the legs out to the side and find a seat here. The feet are flat on the floor. We hug our knees here for a moment. Just bring your forehead onto your knees. And bring your hands below your knees onto your shin bones. Inhale, lift up, straighten your spine, lengthen your spine, curl the heart out. Exhale, we lean back, the arms come straight, and we just round the spine here. And from that rounded spine, we slowly, slowly, slowly begin to lower ourselves all the way down onto the mat. And slide the feet in a little closer to our buttocks here. The hands are pressing into the earth. And as you inhale, you just gently lift your hips off the mat. Exhale, lower them down. Once more, inhale, lift them up. And exhale, lower them down. Inhale, lift them up and then reach the arms overhead, and you can keep the hips lifted, and you can keep the arms lifted, or you can find a block or a blanket, a book, place it under the hips and lower the hips down onto this for supported bridge here, maybe keeping the arms overhead for a nice shoulder opener here. Breathing. Inhaling, then bring the hands around alongside the body, and then if you have a block underneath or a book or a blanket, keep it there. And then lift one leg and then both legs up towards the ceiling. Maybe they're bent, maybe they're not straight. Just see where you are. And then point and flex. Point and flex the toes, maybe drawing some circles here with the ankles one direction, and then the other direction. Once more flexing and pointing. And bringing the feet down to the ground. Removing block, book, blanket. Walk the feet wide to the outer edges of the mat. And bring the arms out wide to the side, or draw cactus arms up here. Inhale, and drop the knees over to the right, finding a twist here. Maybe your gaze goes the opposite ways as the knees do. Inhale, draw the knees back up. And then on the exhale, let them come down to the other side. them into your chest here, hugging yourself, and then maybe just massaging, rolling a little bit from side to side. And begin to find your final resting pose for Shavasana. If you have a blanket or a towel, maybe you want to make a roll here and slide it under your knees for a little bit of support. Maybe you even have a smaller towel nearby that you can just, as you lay down, you can just draw over a light over your eyes here, closing off the eyes a little bit. Just do anything to get yourself adjusted. As you do this, I'm turning on a little bit of music. Taking a moment, maybe you want to cover yourself with a blanket. Just do anything to get comfortable here. Close your eyes. Soften the area around the eyes. Soften your cheeks. Part your teeth. Bring some softness into the jaw. Let the shoulders melt into the earth. Drawing a breath in and sighing it out. Releasing your arms, your hands, and your legs into the ground. Feeling the touch and the hug of the earth holding us, supporting us, protecting us. Resting in, drawing your awareness to your breath and nothing but the breath. With the ocean waves coming in and out, in and out. breath come in a little bit deeper. Bring some movement back into the body. Just gently wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe reaching the arms up and overhead for a nice long stretch. Breathing in and just sighing it out. And roll over onto your favorite side and just rest there for a moment on your side, cradling your head in your elbow or on your arm. As you were in Shavasana, I drew a community card for us, and the card says, live in the moment. Today's lesson. On this day, strive to live in the moment. Only speak about positive things in your life and avoid bringing up the past, especially negative memories or situations. Your goal, to experience how difficult it is to live in the present. Healing is rapidly enhanced when you're focused on the now. Still being present in the moment. As you inhale, just gently coming up to a seat and taking a moment to adjust yourself here, getting comfortable. You can keep the eyes closed or have a half gaze, still drawing inward a little bit. And opening the ears to the sound. A little mini meditation. Bring to mind those in your life that you want to send them some love and light and healing and support. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free everywhere. You can just listen to the sounds and let it vibrate in your body, or you can just hum along or sing along as you know the words. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino Be happy and free everywhere. And bring your hands to your hearts. And we lift them up to the third eye center. Sending out healing in our thoughts. Bring the hands down to the lips, sending out healing in our words. And back to the heart, sending out healing in all of our actions. Thank you so much for being with me this morning, sending love and light your way. Thank you so much. Tara is up next. And enjoy the rest of this beautiful sunny day. Thank you. Bye-bye.